Today we're going to this place called. Actually, there's no name for that place. So every time I need to navigate to that place, I need a geo coordinates. So it's mid of nowhere. This place is south of Homer, Illinois. When we get there, you will see there's no lights. Right now, you still see some lights on the street. There's actually a small farm or somewhere, I don't know, something in here. But as we go further and further, you will notice that there's no car or nothing over there. So that would be a good place to take photos of the stars because you have no light pollution and there's no cars or anything to distract you. So we'll be right there. Okay, we have arrived. This is a place I usually shoot the star. There's a tree here, and there's, I don't know what you call that, but yeah. So there's a chair. Sometimes I can sit down there, and let's go. Hi, my name is Tim. I'm an electrical engineering senior here at University of Illinois. I got introduced to photography in a very young age by my parents. Both of my parents are very into photography, especially scenery or landscape photography. So I got introduced into that at a very young age. I think even in junior high, I have a Canon AE1 film camera. I took a lot of pictures inside the school and also outside, a lot of places with scenery, and actually developed a film myself. So I'm very interested in photography, especially in landscape and scenery. But after high school, when I moved to here in Illinois, I realized there's not a lot of park, so it's not very good for me to do that. There's not a lot of place to shoot landscape or just scenery in general outside the school. And school is a boring place to do that because you're here every day and you walk around, and after a month or two you get really bored of it. So after my freshman year I got really bored. I don't know what to shoot, and then in sophomore year, at the beginning of sophomore year, there's a coincidence on the internet. I find there's this thing called astrophotography, which is basically you shoot pictures of the stars and at the night sky. I got really interested into that because there's really not the things I want to shoot, but I'm really passionate about photography. And then I decided I'd just go out on the same day at night, and I took my small Sony NX5. It's a cheap camera that I bought with me, and I tried to take a picture of the stars. So that's the result, and as you can see, it's not very good. The weather that day is not very good. There's a little bit cloudy, and also there's an area with a lot of light pollution, so you can't really see a lot of the stars. You can only like 3 or 4 stars on there, and the composition is horrible. I don't know how to shoot the stars. I don't know what the movement of the star looks like. So if I move the picture one by one, you can actually see the star moving on the screen, and that's how the time lapse works. So because the star is moving with respect to Earth, and that's how you can see a trace of the star. So I pulled a picture here with this software, and if I stack all those pictures together, you can see the star will become a trace, and then you can see the clouds coming in because the weather that day is not very well. There's one time I was shooting on the side of the road, and it's just right in the middle of nowhere. That place doesn't even have a street address. So I was shooting at this place, and I set up my camera because it's a long time. So I set up my camera for time lapse, and I just went back to my car, and then I fell asleep. And in the middle of the night, there's like just police car just came in with the siren and everything, and just wake me up. So like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And then he saw the camera, he saw the tripod, and said, "Oh, you're just taking pictures. Okay, goodbye," and just left. And also, there's times that I went to this nature preserve where there's a lot of animals there, and I was taking my picture, and this deer just came and just knocked the camera over. So when I woke up, I see the picture of this deer just in front of the camera. So that's also kind of interesting. Sometimes if you're shooting the star, you have an extra camera. I usually do some kind of light art. So I bought this steel wool at like home improvement store. So this is just a very fine like steel fiber. And what I do with this, I make a small ball and tuck it with a small piece of wire. Set up the camera. I like this kind of photography because it's very different than any other kind of photography. You get to see the darker side of the world, where you can see the night sky, which is different than what you usually shoot for with the camera. And it's not as hard as you think it would be, because the creation period is much longer. It's in the hours, so you get to have some remorse and some errors you can correct it later. It doesn't take that much practice to get you going, and you'll have some good results. So I recommend more people do what I do, have a new experience like this.